Welcome, welcome, welcome to Heal With Us podcast. My name is Ufuoma and Eboni. I'm one of your hosts.
And I'm Ebony Habanero. I'm another host.
And today we have the lovely Shay. She's back with us for yet another episode. We're going to be kicking off our holiday season episode with Shay. Shay, if you'd like to introduce yourself to our guests.
Yes, hi. I am Shay, and Shay DeLeon. I am a mental health counselor at Atlanta Mission, and yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into this conversation in this Giving Tuesday episode.
Glad to have you with us. Like Shay mentioned, this episode is going to be on Giving Tuesday. So, with Thanksgiving approaching us, there's a lot of talk surrounding thankfulness and gratitude. So, what is Thanksgiving? Not the holiday, but what is like the true meaning of Thanksgiving?
I think like many of us, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but Thanksgiving is one of those really coming together holidays, one of those favorite holidays. But I think it's being able to just come together with those who support, who love you, and who matter the most to you. And I think that in that celebration, we usually have a lot of food and things, but it's more of just being able to be around people who care about you.
Absolutely. I would agree with what you just shared. And for me, it's also a time to reflect, thinking back, especially coming to the end of the year, reflecting on all that's happened, the relationships, the new, the old, and just being thankful for, just the gift of life. Ebony, what does Thanksgiving mean to you?
I think the same things that you both said. It's a time of gratitude. It's a time to really reflect on all of the things that God has really done for you and the good things that have happened in your life. I think it's important that we give back too. It's a time of giving to other people in Thanksgiving for the good that's come your way. So Shay, I have a question for you. How does thankfulness affect your mental health?
Yeah, so I think and y'all just talking about that, being in that state of gratitude. I think when we're going through hard times and we're maybe suffering in a state of depression or just dealing with a lack of support, we forget the things that we can be thankful for. I know, and just sitting with women that I work with and being a support or being a helper, it's coming in that position of just being a reminder of there are things to be thankful for, even in situations that may not feel or look as we'd hope. And so I think not having not focusing on what you can be thankful for, not focusing on the things you can be grateful for, just can put us in that more negative mind state.
Absolutely. Thankfulness, for sure, is a way of reducing stress and anxiety. When we focus on the good things, like just by default, I think it just puts you in that less stressful state. I know something we always talk about, the holiday cheer, like, when it starts kicking off, everybody just seems to be in a happy mood for some reason, right? When it's the lights, the music, just family. Like you mentioned earlier, food does it.
Absolutely.
But it boosts this happiness and mood and, essentially strengthen relationship too. I think those are for me, the impact of thankfulness and how it impacts our mental health.
Absolutely.
And now, is gratitude a state of mind, or would you say it's an action? Like, how would you look at that approach of gratitude?
I would actually say it was both. I think being one of I've heard the statement of having an attitude of gratitude, right? And so constantly being in a grateful mindset. And I think that's just it's so healthy. I work with a lot of ladies on just mindfulness and a mindfulness practice. We do gratitude, letters of gratitude, just reflection moments of gratitude, writing down our list of just the things. And, I usually encourage to go to the depths of just the simplest things to the biggest things, and identifying that. And so in the action, it's, what do you do out of that state of gratitude? You know what I'm saying? So the gratitude shouldn't only be in your state of mind, but also in your actions. I hear time and time again, and of even in women I may work with in the shelter, they have a heart of service even still, you know what I'm saying? And so that is some of their action. And like, I want to serve. Like, I'm still, I might be going through something, but I'm still capable to serve and be grateful, despite anything that I'm facing. So
Yeah, that's awesome. So how can we, and you kind of said that a little bit about some of the women at the shelter and ways that they express their gratitude, but what are ways that, the normal stay-at-home mom or the busy working dad, what are ways that they can express thankfulness and gratitude?
and so one, I truly believe in like the power of just being able to connect, or just relational connection. You know what I'm saying? Just being there for somebody and letting them know, reminding them that you're grateful for them. So even if it's just somebody you haven't talked to, in a while, and just sending a text message. I think sometimes during the holidays, we have, our prominent loved ones we come together with, but we don't remember the ones who may not always, like be with us, or, so it's just reaching out to tell somebody you care about them, and that you're grateful for, them being in your life, or whatever impact that they had in your life. Even if it's saying hello to somebody who you may not even say hello to, and just letting someone know that, you matter, I appreciate you. Just, you, even if you at a store and you just tell somebody thank you for just what you're doing, and serving me by way of just, customer service and stuff. And I think that it's just those small things, like things that we do on the daily. It doesn't have to, monetary is great and appreciate, but it doesn't have to be that. It's just the small actions that you can do. I'm a mother as well, so even just from a mother to a child, if you're a stay-at-home mom, and sharing gratitude with your kids, and showing them that example, too, is just so important, and it matters and makes a difference.
Absolutely. There's one that I saw something beginning of the year. Beginning of the year, everybody's like, I'm gonna start doing this, I'm gonna start doing that. And one thing that you were sharing, Shay, that came to my mind was there was somebody posted something about having a jar every time at the end of your day, write something you're grateful for and put in the jar. And by the end of the year, you can take it and read all these things that's transpiring, just having that attitude of gratitude. But one that I stumbled across online was just the idea of keeping a journal.
Mhm.
But sometimes you forget, they say count your blessings, name them one by one, but then you start thinking like, man, what's happening? Like, you draw a blank, you can't really think through, but sometimes we have to go back to old school and just keep in a journal or just jotting things down as they happen. You mentioned earlier, it was real for you when your little ones too start getting loose, and that
Yeah,
was like memorable. So
yeah,
jotting down stuff like that, like the dates, those moments, because you can't go back and replace time.
not at all. So they're precious. They're definitely precious moments.
Mhm.
I want to jump to maybe the other side of giving. Can a person give too much?
Mm.
That's a good question, Ebony. And I think initially when I reflected on it, I thought more of the, you know, aspect, because I think we think financially, like, am I giving financially too much? But I think if we're giving in of ourselves, if I just think about extending, of ourselves, one, I don't think there's a bounds on well, I say wherever you are financially, that's, you be comfort and have peace about that. But I think when it's giving of yourself, when it comes to others, I think you have to identify what is healthy for you. I think, you know what I'm saying? And so when you say, can a person give too much? It's, I think if I'm not necessarily putting myself, what I'm saying, first, it's about the other person. So if I'm even just considering that, if I set a healthy boundary for myself and feel good about and how much I'm giving, I think then that should be what's important, because it's not about if someone and what you're going to get back from it. It's not about that. When you're giving and you're in a state of gratitude and you're expressing thankfulness, it's your comfort and where you are and how much you give or how much you do for someone else, or how much is too much, because you can't define that. It's so subjective, for every individual person. So I think that's just something that you have to have some comfort with when you go about giving in whatever way.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. The idea of setting some healthy boundaries, for sure. Because, for the giver, that can lead to resentment and burnout and, just the idea of enabling, right? If you're just overgiven, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's, anything. But that boundary piece is key.
And I think because what I also thought too, Ufuoma, is just the aspect of, feeling like you're going to get taken advantage of, you know what I'm saying? And so I've heard that a lot. And I think, it's you knowing this is my boundary. I know that if, I go past this now, I'm overextending myself for myself, not for them, because people are going to, they can ask, and you can have a multitude of opportunities to give. And it's like, well, when will it not become stressful for me? You know what I'm saying? And now I've overextended myself. And so realizing what that threshold is for you individually as you give.
Now, how do we cut off people who we find to be users, who are just like literally draining? They see you, Shay's a giver, she gives her time, she's here before work, after work, she's there for her loved ones. How do we cut off people who are users?
Yeah, I think by way of healthy communication. And so I think one, it's important to know the purpose of that relationship. When I think about anyone that I serve or that I assist or help, they deal with a lot of relational poverty, broken relationships, just based on either them doing for someone, no one doing for them, right? And so it's like, they have the pondering of, or ponder, should I have, not given, you know what I'm saying? Did I overextend myself? And so I think the reality of it is, people are going to ask. People are, and at no point can we control the request, but you can control the output. You know what I'm saying? You can't control your time, you can control how much, and I don't think you should let that hinder you being in a state of gratitude and thankfulness, because there are people who have things that they're dealing with and they're just wanting to be on the receiving end of it. And in a sense, they may take advantage. And I think you have to have a sense of peace on, am I comfortable with what I am given, be it if it's I'm opening up my home or I'm spending time or financially or the likes of. And so I think if you say, hey, enough is enough and this has become unhealthy, then you have to be able to speak up to it and just healthily communicate and say, listen, I've been the best support I can at this point, but we just aren't able to continue in this way. And so I hope you get the best support you can in a different way.
Yeah, that's awesome. With Giving Tuesday approaching after Thanksgiving, and you're working at Atlanta Mission, what can you tell us about Atlanta Mission? Like, why should people, because we want to shine a light on the work that you guys are doing, why should people give to any mission, right? To any nonprofit, but what's the work that Atlanta Mission is doing right now?
Well, and I'll say first and foremost, it is a ministry. I work alongside so many individuals that just love and have a heart of service. But we serve those that are unhoused and just, in need in by way of working to transform lives through those who are facing homelessness. And so our tagline is hope lives here. And so for us, it is to be able to instill even just a light array of hope in every single individual that walks through our doors, and every person matters. And so I think, especially in a season such as this, so we talked about the holidays, right? And what I think I want to be sure to acknowledge is, for many of those that we serve, the holidays are hard. They are not the most joyous times, because there is relational poverty, there is challenge, and just realizing or even finding or feeling that they are loved or supported. And so what we do, as a community, especially in these times, is surround, our women, children, and the men's campus with love, with hope, with joy, with laughter. And so we try to come together as a family to let them know they're not alone, and support them to accomplish their goals, and, be successful in all that they hope to accomplish. So we have, classes that we offer. We, if anyone wants to volunteer and serve in the kitchen, if they want to hold events of any kind, we do celebratory events, for all the clients that we serve. And so, yeah, it's just there's so many opportunities. Our ultimate goal is to help our clients to be in sustainable living. We have a work program that we help them, to achieve their employment goals. And so, I mean, you can give by with clothing. We're always taking donations in that way, any food donations, anything of the like. So yeah, because it is fully funded by the Lord. So we appreciate anything, that is able to be donated, or just in anybody's heart, however they want to give, if it's time or whatever. We love to see our volunteers and donors.
And it's awesome. And how can they find out more information?
Yeah, so we on our website, atlantamission.org, you can go on there, and there's a link that says ways to give. So if it is by way of, if any monetary giving, you can go about it that way. But if you want to get involved, there's also a tab that says get involved, and you go to our volunteer website. And when I say our employees that work with our volunteers are the most responsive, and will get back to you and make sure they direct you in the best way possible. Like, again, we love to work with our donors and volunteers. I encourage people to be creative. You could come in, and if you had an idea to do a women empowerment class, if art is your thing, we have volunteers that come through and do Zumba classes. I've seen women come in, and they just wanted to throw baby showers, for any of our mothers that are expecting, and things of that nature. So it's so many opportunities. The kids are always ready to turn up and be live, and just, accepting of people coming in, loving on them as well. So I just want to, make sure that folks know it's so confined. You can come present the ideas that you may have and how you want to serve, and the volunteer employees, just, they really help. That volunteer team helps you navigate that.
Awesome. Awesome. So thank you so much, Shay, for joining us on this Giving Tuesday episode, holiday mini episode. Do you have any tips that you can offer people during this season, whether it's to help with their mental health, whether it's to help with them getting in the spirit of giving, or even getting in a better position to be grateful? Like, I feel like for some people it's a process. It's like it's not like turning a switch on and off, right? People have to practice it, but I'm not the professional, you are. So what kind of tips can you uh
To your point though, I think, like you said, people have to practice it. It has to become a habit. And it's a state of living. I think we get lost when we're dealing with stress. And so sometimes the holidays can be stressful. And I think if you can just take a moment to put in the habit of, if I can just take 5 minutes of my day and just reflect on what it is that I'm grateful for, be it health, be it if it is income, if it is stability that is currently, in your life, that you are able to be stable, to be thankful for those things. And then, if I give a tip, it's to remember you're not alone, that you are cared for, and that you matter. I think,
mhm.
just knowing that sometimes we get in that state and we're so focused and we're so distracted, and like, the holidays come around and we hit Thanksgiving and then comes Christmas and everyone's worried about the what the holiday is going to look like and what I'm going to spend. And there's so much more to life, than just that aspect of how the holiday will look, when it matters more about the people in your life and taking care of self, doing some self-care, maybe not putting so much stress on how you perform, but just having a moment of reflection and joy and what have you already accomplished and how great the day is already. So
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Those are some great tips. So we want to encourage everyone to get involved this Giving Tuesday. Uh, Ufuoma, tell the people how they can get involved.
So some ways you can get involved, like we've mentioned throughout this episode, is you can donate to your favorite charity. Whether that be Atlanta Mission, which is who we're going to be supporting this year for Giving Tuesday. You can spread the word, tell your family and friends. A lot of people may not know what Giving Tuesday is. And for those who don't know, it is a global movement that encourages people to give back to communities on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So it's a day to celebrate generosity and to inspire people to make a difference in the world. So help, with your local charities, spread the word with your family, volunteer your time, whether it's coming up with a dance or art, but just find a way to give back in any way that you can connect, and so it can make sense for you too. So, and have fun doing it.
Yes. And if you want to tell us about your story, we would love to talk to you. If you and your family or you yourself decided to get involved, send us an email at healwithus@atlantatreatmentcenter.org. We would love to hear your stories and even talk to you about how you were able to get involved this year. So thank you so much, Miss Shay DeLeon. As always, Ufuoma, we want everyone to heal with us. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Thank you.
thank you.
To reach us with questions or comments, email us at healwithus@atlantatreatmentcenter.org.